Safety Net Studio presents.
Says the woman who stares at the door and listens for every sound when we're...
Hey, okay, cut it. And cut. Stop. I'm talking... Stop. That is not going on here.
I'd like to see some more engagement on our speak pipe, our voicemail. It's there. You can do. Oh, hi.
Hi. Hello.
Hi.
How are you?
Yeah. No.
Dave wants to talk to more people than me.
Well, yeah. I'd love to hear some reaction on what people thought of the whole separation of Western Canada that we talked about on last week's episode.
Or maybe a confessional.
Maybe a confessional. Maybe a
Christmas wish.
As I said, if there's anything that you need help with, let us help by telling an old story about our past.
Let us help you by talking about us.
Right.
Yeah, great. Wonderful.
I'm wearing my Foo Fighters toque today because I had a dream about Dave Grohl last night. No, not that kind of dream. I had a dream about Dave Grohl last night, and it was I woke up thinking about this where, for those that don't know, Dave Grohl is the lead singer of the Foo Fighters, former drummer for Nirvana. He is he's rock and roll royalty, and he is in a situation where he is married, been married for a long time. He's got a family, and he made an announcement within the last year that he has a daughter from a second relationship that he kind of had on the side, and I can't imagine what it would be like to try and navigate that inside of the family. And I kind of thought, like, when you're married to a rock star, there are certain things that you just kind of have to accept.
So she has to accept the fact that he went out on and got her pregnant?
Nope. But I think that there is a certain level of acceptance that you have to have in a relationship. Like, there will likely be infidelity.
If you're married to a rock star.
If you're married to a rock star.
Wow. Okay. Well, you said something years ago, which was whatever's in the rules of the marriage.
Right.
So as a couple, you would set up what is okay for the two of you.
Sure.
So it's possible that she said, I'm okay with this. We don't know that. I don't know her. I don't know. I've never read anything about it. It's possible she said, as long as you keep it away from the house, right, or it's on the road. I don't know. But it's all about what's in the rules. However, I could probably confidently 90% say she didn't say, and you can have a baby.
Right.
That's hard. That's hard for her.
But I think there are things.
It's hard for the family. It's hard for the kids. So I don't think that was in the window. And the fact that she's, the protein, babe. I'm going hard on protein. I got protein in my coffee. That's how hardcore I am today. Sorry, go ahead.
Oh, I interrupted you. Please continue. Oh, it's there again.
Maybe not the best drink to. I'll drink water.
See, these are one of the things that you have to accept when you're married to an athlete, is that they will get protein powder on their lips when they're drinking coffee, and they will drink out of very ridiculously huge goblets of water. That's insane. Like that's silly. Like, okay. Why not just grab a recycling bin at this point? Just walk around with a recycling bin full of water. At that point, you're killing two birds with one stone. You're lifting something heavy, and you're getting water. I mean, that's...
Can I give some context to this?
That's egregious.
Can I give some context to this?
What context is there to give? It's a large
I have to drink
jug.
9.5.
How many liters is that? That's got to be 3 liters. That's 3 liters.
It's 4.
Ridiculous.
I don't have to drink all 4 liters. I've been drinking out of a Costco pickle jar since I started this. 9.5 cups. It's a perfect amount. I stopped bringing it to the gym because I didn't want it to break at the gym. I thought that would be, it's glass. That's terrible. So I started drinking a solo cup, and it was like, I'm just take a solo cup. I fill up the water there. One of my members from the gym who also goes to my yoga class brought me this as a gift. She saw it and she said, you really need this. This is a gift from Eleanor. I'm grateful for her. It has a straw. It has all the thing. Is it really big? Yes. Do I feel like an athlete? Yes. But I also don't drink enough water.
Because I'm not going to lie to you. I was an athlete for a large portion of my life. Never hauled around anything that dumb.
It reminds me of the George Carlin is one of my favorite comedians of all time. It reminds me of one of the clips he says. Are we at a point where we're carrying around our own water? It's a great clip. You should definitely check it out. And apparently I'm there. I am there. Oh, hey, Alma. She's saying hi to the camera. There's Alma. That is my cat. We rescued her from Mexico.
Thank you. Well done.
Yes. Anyway, I thank you for letting me know there's something in my face. There's nothing worse than talking to somebody and you have something in your teeth, something on your face, and they don't tell you. And then you go find out. Because that tells me a lot about that person. That they can't just go, hang on, wipe it off. Hey, you got something on your teeth. Come in close. I don't care how you do it. I mean, don't announce it to everybody. But if you do, at least you told me that. So thank you. That's a big pet peeve of mine.
It's another one of the things that you have to accept when you're married to a certain kind of person in a certain profession. When you are married to a professional model and now fitness athlete, you got to let them know when something's up.
There's something on my face I want to know.
Right. Mm-hmm. For instance, being married to somebody in radio.
Yes.
You have to accept the fact that I'm going to
early.
be out the door at 4 o'clock in the morning. If I can recount the story about when you and I first met. You and I had first moved in together and my alarm went off at shortly before 4 a.m. And I did my usual ninja tiptoeing and trying to be quiet and turned off the alarm right away. And you went, good morning. And I went, no, shh, it's okay. It's like 3:45 in the morning. Go back to bed. And you're like, no, I thought about it. And I thought, I'm going to get up at the same time as you. That way we can be on the same schedule. And I went, oh, this isn't going to work out. This isn't going to work out at all. I don't like this. I do not like this. And within
because you're in a routine. Yep.
And within day 3, when the alarm went off, you...
Yeah, I love a morning, but that's your before morning. What's a before morning?
Pre-morning?
You're pre-morning. Like pre-workout, you're pre-morning.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. I saw a good clip talking about, there's a funny comedian that I like, and he says, I hear about Mark Wahlberg getting up at 4 o'clock in the morning and going golfing and working out, and The Rock who gets up at 3:30 and works out. He goes, I get up before both of them. I get up 2 days ago. 2 days ago. That way I'm 2 days ahead of The Rock and Mark Wahlberg. I was up 2 days ago before them.
Well, and some other things about radio. And when we first started, you were working with the Bombers. You were working with the Jets. You did every emceeing event that I can think of. And I think married into radio, what people don't understand is you really live like a split shift. You do your mornings, you come home. And I'm so blessed that you're home by 10:30, especially as a homeschooling. So you can work with us or you go down for a nap. But then you usually have something going on in the evening. So your days are really split up. That's being married into the radio. It's a really interesting. Like I feel like I married into I married into radio, but being married into radio, I just learned so much about it. But that is another thing. It's just this sleep cycle that you have that's very, very different than most people have. What is it called? Polyphasic?
Polyphasic sleeping, yeah.
Polyphasic sleeping.
So I'll sleep 4 or 5 hours at night, 1 or 2 in the afternoon. Mm-hmm. And it's a lot of people ask, what's that like? You never really feel rested, and you feel like basically you feel like shit all the time. Yeah. That's
the success of a morning show. I don't think I've ever heard that. I think I've heard that come out of almost every person that I've ever met in radio. So you just, when you're especially doing morning radio, because you are, I think that's the other thing too, is you have to get up so early, if I can speak on your behalf. And okay, fine. A lot of people get up and go work out, but you get up and you entertain, trying to get people laugh, try to get them to the door, try to get them. So yeah, there's a lot of things I've learned about this industry. There's a lot of things I love about it. And there's a lot of things I don't like about the industry.
This spring will actually be my 25th year of doing morning radio. Yeah.
Do you get like a gold watch or something?
No, I get nothing.
Retirement?
Nothing.
No. 25 years in morning radio, but 29 years in radio in general.
I started in 98 was when I officially kind of started in radio. And so it'll be, coming up on 28 years.
So you've done rock, you've done pop, you've done country. Mm-hmm. Have you done you've never done oldies?
Never done oldies.
Which is now considered 80s and 90s.
I did a variety station in Fort McMurray. It was one of my first radio stations. There was CJOK 12:30 a.m., which switched to 93.3 FM, and I was part of that flip, which was great getting that experience. And then we had Kicks 98, which was...
Kicks 98.
KYC.
Sorry, every time Dave does a call, I always do it. I just... Kicks 98. Like, that voice. Kicks 98. I'd be so bad.
Oh, man, you missed your calling.
Just because I love making you laugh about it. It's just like... Not doing it.
It was a variety station. We would play everything from Metallica to Sarah McLachlan. No, sorry, AC/DC. Never played Metallica, but everything from AC/DC to Sarah McLachlan to Aha to the Cowboy Junkies to Grapes of Wrath to Blue Rodeo. Oh, yeah. Van Halen.
That's a great name. Cowboy Junkies. I don't know who they are.
Cowboy Junkies, yeah. Good Canadian band. Yeah. Anyways, yeah, I've technically done talk radio, working with the CJOB over the years and doing...
And podcasting with your wife in the basement. Bum, bum, bum.
The pinnacle of my broadcast career.
I've gone 25 years to broadcast on a Sunday with my wife in the basement with a look at this, with this little floral. You like that?
But I think about, your friends out in British Columbia. That is very nice. You actually won that at a Christmas party that I was...
You were hosting. Again, another split shift.
Lucky enough to be an MC at the OB1 Construction at the Qualico Family Center in beautiful Assiniboine Forest.
That's a great venue. If you're looking to host something, that's a really beautiful venue.
Yeah, that was lovely.
The service was great.
Yeah, I agree. It was a fun night. It was a fun night. It was lots of fun to be had. It was interesting. It's not the
fun, Dave. Is that what you're trying to say? Fun?
No, what I'm trying to say was it was different because it was a work night, but it was a work night that didn't have any alcohol attached to it.
Oh. So this, for anybody who doesn't know, we're on a 1 year, no booze, no weed. Mm-hmm. No booze that we committed
sober,
1 year.
Just a sober year. Not California sober, sober.
What's California sober?
Oh, you don't know California sober?
Is that like no sun?
No. California sober is, I don't do any drugs, but I smoke weed. That's California sober.
I could see that happening in my life at some point. Okay, maybe when the kids are older. California sober. Okay, but we're full sober.
We're sober.
So you finding when we're in these events, now we're going into holiday season,
mm-hmm.
Everybody's like, cheer, cheer, cheer. You're having some drinks. Do you feel like you're missing out?
No, not necessarily missing out.
Tell me.
It's interesting because all depending on what the event is over the years, over the course of the last 28 years. Though sometimes it would be like, I'll have a couple of drinks, just to be social. There's other ones where it'd be like, all right, they really don't care. Like everyone here is hammered, so I'm gonna get up on stage and I'm gonna be hammered too. Like there absolutely have been those times where I probably shouldn't gotten behind a microphone. There are other times where it's, don't drink until after you're done with the script, you're done with the microphone, then you can start having drinks. There's been they're all kind of self-set rules too. There's golf tournaments that I've done where, geez, I could barely stand and I was getting behind the microphone, emceeing a dinner.
So you miss that?
No, I'm not saying I miss that at all. I'm just saying it's different now going in. And I think part of it is because it's been such a habit? No, what's the word for it? Because it's been such a part of the industry and hosting and all that kind of stuff. Now it's it's answering the questions. Oh, you're not drinking? Oh, why not? You okay? Everything all right? Do you want one? Can I get you a drink?
So you don't like
have that. Let's have a shooter. It's, come on, have a shooter. I said, no, I'm not drinking right now. Oh, you can just have one. And it's like, oh, no, I'm not drinking right now. And it's depending on how much alcohol the other person's have, then you're borderline getting into an argument about it. You know what I mean?
And then you feel like you have to defend yourself. There's nothing worse than having to defend yourself.
Well, not only that, but I kind of feel like I was hired to, be social and hang out and see these people. And if I almost feel like I'm insulting them if I'm not having a drink with them. You know what I mean? And then they go,
I don't know what I
screw
don't,
that guy.
I don't see it the way
drink with me.
That I don't see it the same way you do. You're hosting it. I'm just a +1, so I'm coming in. I love being sober. I really love the feeling. Number one, I get to wake up if there's no clarity. Do I love the idea of letting go? Yeah, but I can let go sober. I think that's, for me, it's different. You're hosting, so you've done it for so long, and I can appreciate and I thank you for your honesty. I really do. This is the hardest time. I remember when you did sobriety like this once before.
I was California sober.
Yeah, you did California sober for a year. But I respect what you said as we were thinking about doing this again, is it's just best because you cover everything. You cover everybody's birthday, every holiday, everything gets covered in a year. If you're gonna, and what we do afterwards, who knows? But I could appreciate it, but I feel like I got a leg up. I do. I feel like I get up and I'm ready to go. I don't feel like I'm missing out personally. I know you didn't ask me, but I'm just gonna answer. I don't feel like it, but I can appreciate for you. You feel like, so just get a mocktail.
Yeah, it doesn't count. It's almost as if
You need a buzz?
No, it's almost as if like
You need
there's this unwritten social contract that if you're out in a drinking establishment and if you're not drinking, it's like, oh, outsider. And don't get me wrong, I have no problems being sober. Like
I was born a ginger. I've been an outsider since the day so for me, welcome.
I remember once upon
and the youngest.
I remember once upon a time a guy in my industry, and keep in mind my industry is famous for drinking. Like it's just a social thing to do.
Yes.
You know, you go out, you have drinks. Like I mean, I've sat there and I've gotten very inebriated with some of the top people in the industry in this country at dinner, like opening up bottle of wine after bottle of wine after bottle of wine. And it's just part of the industry. And that's not an excuse. Those are just facts. And I remember one guy saying, I don't trust somebody in this industry that doesn't drink. Remember him saying that. Like, if you can't sit down and have a beer with me, I'm probably not going to hire you.
Well, you also want to get to a point where you hope that you don't have a problem, because that's the first thing I think people go, I've had, oh, did you have an issue with alcohol? No, I just chose to take. So there's this idea that if you're taking a break, there's a problem. But you also want to get to a point where drinking that you can have a drink on a golf course, or you could have one with a friend or whatever. But it's that all the way over that I'm not I've never been a fan of it.
I was warned early in my life that my family has had a problem generationally with drinking. Like lots of people in my family. I mean, you can still see it to this day. There's a lot of people in my family that have, I can confidently say I have drinking problems. I can confidently say that I have a drinking problem. And well, I mean, is that not obvious?
Well, just the fact that you said it in front of two cameras. I know this. We've been together for almost 17 years. I know this. This is a big part of our conversation we have, and that's why I feel really blessed to be able to do this with you. I wanted to do it. We sat down and we thought, yeah, this could be a financial win for us if we just cut it all off. Think about all that money that we could save, because you don't realize even just going out for dinner. Like, it's not, you go for dinner, you go to the keg for dinner, and no offense, not trying to call you out the keg, but like $15-$17 for a drink sometimes, or anywhere, you go for a dinner and drinks are expensive, or grab a bottle of wine, or grab a six-pack here. You add that up at the end of the year, and I track all of that. That's expensive. So when you said you wanted to do it, knowing our past, I thought, yeah, I'm in. Like, you want to do it with me? I'm all in. I'm all in. And I love it. I feel like I got a leg up. You got to start shifting your mentality. Now when you see people and they're like, first of all, you and I will cut a rug anywhere. It doesn't matter. We can be sober. But when they get up in the morning, we'll be slow. We get up and I'm like, let's hit the gym. And then you're getting up, and then I come back. Was that too loud? I'm sorry to pop the mic.
Athlete.
And then I come home, and I don't know. I personally feel better. And I will say this. I'm not a professional. I personally do not think I would be doing this competition. I wouldn't have finished all I've done some yoga training, but now I've advanced my yoga training from there. I don't think I would be this dialed in as a human being where I am right now if I didn't stop drinking and smoking weed, because I thought weed was helping me with anxiety, and it turned out it wasn't. Do I think those things have a place? Do I want to get to a point where if I'm Italy, or so I can have a beautiful glass of wine on a in a vineyard? That's something I would love to be able to do. I don't want to get to a point where it's a complete no for me, but I would like it to be this big in my life, because I don't. Yeah, or so I love golf, and we're a golf family. Like, I love the idea of a beer or a drink on the 19th hole, sitting there just enjoying that. Like, I do like that idea about it, but the social aspect of it, I actually think that's the younger generation from us are turning away from it.
Sure,
They're more moving toward weed.
I have a theory on that.
Oh, go.
Yeah,
please.
I think that alcohol, if you go with the whole seventh son of a seventh son theory from the Bible, but I think it's working its way out, and here's why. I think alcohol was there for a lot of people who were coming back post-war from, especially, I mean, not only World War I, World War II, but, the Vietnam War, and there wasn't access to mental health counselors, and alcohol was just a way to mask all the problems, and don't have to talk about it. I mean, and keep in mind, there was a lot of abuse in households and whatnot that it was attributed to all that, and I think it messed up a lot of generations. And keep in mind, that was the baby boomer generation, right? So I think the Gen Xers just saw a lot of drinking in the household a lot and thought that's just what you do as an adult. And the Gen Xers drank as well. We didn't really know why. We just did. Well,
and I feel like even when we were growing up, like, you turn 18, you go to the bar. Like, and right. I just think of how many times I would party on the weekend, party throughout the week, like Thursday night at the Oak or this, you do all these like nights out and you still go to work. You still do your stuff. So you're right. Like we grew up with it thinking it was just part of it.
Yeah, it was just like, and again, being the latchkey generation where we were kind of...
What's latchkey?
Oh, the latchkey generation. That's what Gen Xers are known as because we came home after school to an empty house because both parents were working and we had a latchkey, so like a little key, so you get into the house and there was a list of things like these things better be done by the time we get home. Yeah. And so that's one of the reasons why Gen Xers are famous for working independently. Just give me the task, I'll get it done. Like I don't need someone overlooking me. I've been doing this my whole life since I was a teenager. I can get shit done. And the idea of us, seeing all this in the household, being left alone. I'm an adult, drinking very early. And then the millennials was just kind of the Gen Xers were close enough. We'll drink as well. We go to the bar. These are the things that we do socially. And then as we move down to Gen Z and then Gen Alpha, like it's really kind of working itself out. And yeah, maybe it's a little more vaping, marijuana, whatever it be, but drinking, like as far as the industry, like it's slowly working its way out of society, which I find fascinating.
I think you're doing a great job. How many days? We're probably about
We're almost. It'll be January 1st. Will be half a year.
Half a year. I think we're doing a great job. I think it's a great challenge. I think anybody should challenge. We love a challenge. You want to give me like a 30-day challenge, a 20? We've always been like that. So I do think it just gives you clarity. I think you should really give yourself props because I know you're also breaking a cycle. You're openly talking about, family lineage, and I think when you're married and you talk about those kinds of things in your past and trying to be better, one thing we always say is we both, like I grew up in a broken home. So my mom, dad split up when I was really young and I grew up with a single mom. Awesome. But I never saw affectionate parents. You had parents that grew up together. Yeah, they grew up together. That's not the right wording, is it? They grew up together.
There's a reason why I have a double last name.
Sorry, how do you word it? They were married, but they were.
I have no idea what you're trying to say. Actually, please walk me through it.
I'm saying
make it make sense, Candace.
Your parents, you openly said your parents were openly affectionate when they were married.
No.
Right.
Not at
So
all.
that's one thing that's really important to us is that our kids see us hugging and not because like they should see us, but because we generally love each other. But that was something that we didn't grow up with is what I was trying to say.
Says the woman who stares at the door and listens for every sound when we're...
Hey, okay, cut it. And cut. Stop. Stop. That is not going on here. We're not there. But that's what I'm saying. So it's like you're breaking a generational trauma or generational, I don't want to say curse. I hate that word. But like, I want you to acknowledge the fact that you are doing it. And like I know it's hard and we're about to go into the hardest season. And I think it's also a good reminder if somebody says, I'm not drinking, it's not your invitation to say, why? Can you, come on, have one. I mean, even somebody in my family recently was like, oh yeah, but you can drink on the week. You can drink over the holidays. Well, no, I don't get it's not an excuse to, because it's the holidays. So I think that would be the one thing I would say is if somebody in your life just chooses to go sober for a period of time, a long period of time, it's just, hey man, cool. Do you want me to bring you a mocktail? Can I make you a drink? Like there's great mocktails out there. I think that's one thing we haven't gotten into. We haven't got into making these, because that's the thing, right? I love the idea of like a fancy glass and a fancy drink and all that kind of stuff. I love that.
Well, I remember when I was, it would have been 2018, summer of 2018, I was sailing in the Bahamas with a bunch of buddies, one guy in particular who was a .comer and he thought I can .com from anywhere. So we got a sailboat and decided to sail down in the Exumas and invited a bunch of guys down to his boat. And so we sailed throughout the Exumas in the Bahamas for a week. And I was during my 1 year of no drinking. And the reason why, and you mentioned this earlier, but the reason why it was 1 year is like, no, it covers everything. It covers Christmases, birthdays, whatever. It's not sober October. It's like, I'm just giving it up for a month and just doing one.
Which also is amazing.
Which is great.
I think it's amazing. Anybody who takes that kind of a break, I think it's amazing.
But I thought it was interesting because at that point, I think I was about maybe 6 months into it or at the time. And the first 5 months, 3, 4, 5 months, anytime I was out, people were like, hey, you want a beer? It's like, oh, I'm not drinking right now. And I was like, well, why not? There was a lot of those questions like, oh, whatever. You're not going to make it anyways. Whatever. You're just going to go back. Might as well just have one now. Like there was every excuse, and not only excuse, but people trying to convince me like, just give up. Because again, there's that social contract of I'm going to drink. You need to drink with me so I feel better about the decisions. Mm-hmm. And it was interesting after about, the 5-6 month mark, those same people I found were like, so, hey, like, do you feel better? Like, is it something you think I could do? And I specifically remember talking to one of my buddies that I was on that trip with, talking about like, is it harder than you thought? Like, is it something that you think that I could do? And it was really kind of almost not a cry for help, but all it needed was somebody to kind of go, no, it's possible, and you could if you wanted to. Like, I'm not sitting here going like I'm superior than you because I'm not drinking. It's not that. It's just like, hey, it's a decision I made. There was something that happened where I thought I got to get this under control. And can you do it? Sure, absolutely you can. I mean, I'm not going to be your sponsor. Like if you need to go to AA. But I think that's a big scare for people too, is that if I go to AA, that's it. I'm done forever. And it reminds me of what a wise man named Oliver Turley, a good Irishman, said once upon a time. He was a father to my brother's best friend growing up. They lived down the street from us in Fort McMurray. And he said, never get yourself into too much trouble that you can't have a cold beer on a hot day. And I've never forgotten that. And there have been times where I'm like, I could use a beer. And don't get me wrong, the technology that they've been having with these zero beers, like a lot of these 0.0, they're way better than the O'Douls that you get back in the day. Like
O'Douls. I forgot about that. The Corona Sunbrews are really good.
Yeah, the Corona Cero. The Corona Cero is what they're calling them now.
I thought they were Sunbrews.
No, they used to be called Sunbrew, and now they're calling them
okay. I can't keep
Corona Cero. Se llama Corona Cero.
Okay. Yep. Yeah, they do. And that's what I'm saying, like having those mocktails. And now when you go out, I find more and more places have options for beers. Mocktails are kind of something that you've been able to make, but they do have more options for beers. So.
I'm having a mocktail right now. I'm having a mocktail rye and Coke. Yeah.
Just Coke?
Just Coke.
Yeah.
My father used to always say that when we go, can I get you something to drink? Yeah, I'll take a rye and Coke. Hold the rye. Little things like that. Anywho, back to the task at hand here. How has speaking of commitments and really sticking to it, how has your training been going?
This week?
In general?
I really enjoy it.
Because last time we talked, you had blew out your back.
Yeah, my back is almost better. I've been doing a good job nursing it. Honestly, it's going great. I really enjoy it. You scared her away. I really, really enjoy it. I really love it. I had confessed on here, I think it was last show, that I said I personally find that when I'm there, I just get to be Candace and I get to just put everything off to the side, the to-do list and all that kind of stuff, and I can just really work. Right now, I'm at a point where this morning when I walked into the gym, I felt like I had kind of hit my first kind of slump. And what I mean by that is because every Saturday I do like my arms, everything gets measured, and then I get weighed, and then I get like my fat percentage and everything goes, gets measured. And I just didn't make any movement, nothing. And I had worked really, really hard that week. Like I think I work but every week I try to add just a little bit more. And so when nothing came in, I thought, maybe that I don't feel that great. But then at the gym, my coach was there and he's like, no, that's okay. Like that we're doing great. Like we're in bulk season. We want to bulk. Don't worry about that. You're showing up, you're doing what needs to be done. And then when I got dressed for the show, I went and put these pants on, these jeans I've been wearing, and they're loose on me. So it's also just this great reminder that sometimes you can't see what you're doing, the work you're putting in. You can't see it because you want, like, there's just this, I grew up was like the number on the scale matters and you want instant gratification, but when it comes to going to the gym, you're not going to get that. It's going to take time to build your arms, to build your muscles and everything up. So I'm enjoying it. I'm realizing that this is a consistent process and consistency has never been my friend. We joked, Dave and I, years ago that I should do a podcast called Consistency with Candace, where we just do something for every week and then we just change it to something else because I'm terrible with consistency. So this is a big one.
One season, one episode.
One season, one episode, and I'm done. It's good. So it's going well. I'm learning a lot. I feel like every time I go, I feel like I'm learning, like I have to drink more water. Or this week I learned all about protein. I have protein in my coffee. Do you want to know something about protein that I didn't know?
Do tell. It gets all over your lips.
Is it again?
No, you're fine.
It makes you gassy. Did you know?
I told you this as soon as you started working out.
Yeah, but food. I knew food, not protein on top of it.
It's the protein in the food.
See? Just living in a bubble, Dave.
I said to you, get ready to be gassy if you're going to go on this workout journey.
I didn't realize
you're
it
gonna
does.
take all the supplements.
Yeah, it
get ready to be gassy.
And now I'm learning about creatine. So I just feel like every week I just learn something new, and I'm so grateful for when people take the time to explain something who's further in their journey, who's been going to the gym for maybe several years or like lifelong. And yeah, I enjoy it. I'm a firm believer now that I found this community, especially going into the new year. I understand a lot of people are like, let's get back to the gym, or if they want to get into the gym. I definitely say that it just... If you're in a bad mood, go to the gym. You had a fight with your spouse, go to the gym. You're having a good day, go to the gym. Everything that you do when you go to the gym, I just think you feel better. So yes, I'm feeling great.
So that's one of the things that when you're married to a professional athlete.
I love when you say it. 1 month in, baby. 1 month in. Yeah, I will say that. This is a long journey because I didn't, you think, oh, you go to the stage, but then I have to go into what's called a reversal after.
Yeah.
I go into a 3-month reversal because basically for 12 to 14 weeks, I don't know the exact date yet. So, but my competition's been moved to June 13th.
It's like
June 13th. Go ahead.
It's like divers, have to go into a decompression chamber after, right? Like you can't just go right back out. You got to slowly work your way back into regularity because you're in such a obscure area of how you treat your body. You know what I mean? Yeah.
And I don't know what you mean because I haven't experienced it. So, as we do this show, I'm going to really expose how I feel because right now I think, gosh, I eat so much. And anybody who's done that journey before or who's my coach is like, enjoy.
Well,
because the second you go into a calorie defect, that's when the weight starts coming off. And that's when you have to push even harder with less fuel.
Well, it kind of reminds me of a story about an old friend who told me a story about his grandfather who they were putting into a home, a retirement home. And this was years ago, and the retirement home had rules where there was no tobacco and no alcohol allowed. After 3 days of being there, his health started going south. He had to be taken into the hospital. And the doctor said, has he had any major changes? And they said, well, he hasn't had anything to drink or smoke. And they said, he's been smoking and drinking for 75 years. Give him back his tobacco, give him back his alcohol, and they did, and all of a sudden his health went back to normal because it had just been, it was immediate. It was like, hey, you have to stop now. You're moving into this new place. That hurt.
A snap hurt?
Yeah, I burnt my fingers.
Oh, right.
Yeah.
Is this your way of saying I need to go back to?
No. But no, this is a kind of a culmination of everything we've been talking about today, where you just can't, there's one thing about these sudden, hard changes. You're like, all right, stop now. All right, start now. There's certain people based on their biorhythms that can't just, stop.
Right.
Or start. Or, you got to ease in, got to ease out.
I have to be completely honest right now. As you're aggressively speaking, your pom-pom on the top is about... It's so cute.
By the way, we're going to see the Foo Fighters in September.
That's the plan.
Taking the kids to the first show. Foo Fighters and Queens of the Stone Age. And
with your brother. We're trying to make it a family trip.
Commonwealth in Edmonton. Yeah.
That's the goal.
That'll be a good trip.
Yeah, I agree. You
remember your first concert?
Yeah, with you. We went to Green Day.
Now, there's a point of contention in this story. You told me, and I was so proud that oh my God, I got to take you to your first concert. That's so cool. And then we ran into an old real estate friend of yours at Times Change and said, no, Candace, I had taken you to a concert before that.
Well, I was probably drunk and don't remember. So my first concert was with you.
Do you have a drinking problem?
No, but when I was 19, I was a party. I loved going to the bar. Thursday nights, Friday nights, Saturday nights. I loved dancing and drinking because I felt like we grew up with it. Mm-hmm. But for me, it was Green Day. We went to go see Green Day, and you took me. And it was awesome. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah, Green Day.
I'm excited to take the boys to their first concert.
MC Hammer.
Really?
MC Hammer. Peach Fest.
Really?
Yeah.
What's a Peach Fest?
Peach Fest is a festival out in Penticton that they have every year, and it would have been 1991 or 2. Someone can check me on that. Whatever year that the riots happened during Peach Fest in Penticton in the Okanagan Valley.
You were there.
I was there. Yeah, the riots happened.
I know this.
Yeah. I was out there with my parents and MC Hammer. They're like, let's go see MC Hammer.
Your parents took you?
Yeah. Yeah.
I didn't know that. That's so cool. Mm-hmm. How old were you?
I think it was 91 or 92, so I would have been 12 or 13. I think.
Cool.
Yeah.
That's a great age. I mean, if you're taking your kids before that, that's awesome. Mm-hmm. But I think that's actually we took Angus to his first concert. He's already taken one. Remember?
Well, he was in utero.
So I love Tool. Okay, fun fact: I love all music. I love country. I love a lot of music. But Tool, when Dave introduced me to Tool, it was like a light bulb went off in my head. I listened to Tool on the way to the gym.
I'm a Tool fan.
I'm a Tool fan. Such a Tool. I love Tool. And so Dave said the lead singer of Tool plays in a different band.
Maynard James Keenan.
And he's going to be coming through. Why don't we take him? And I'm not kidding you. I'm 9 months pregnant. And I'm thinking, yeah, okay, maybe the shake of it.
A Perfect Circle was playing
Will
the
come
concert
out.
hall. Was playing the concert hall in Winnipeg.
And I was excited when you got the tickets. This was a few months before. But now
And you were pregnant.
Like, I'm 2 weeks away from due date, and I had put on 55 pounds. I'm huge. I am not feeling good. You know, if you know you're at the end, you're at the end. And we go to this concert, and everyone is drinking and having a great time at the concert hall and everything. And I'm just waddling in, and I'm going up and down and up and down. And anyway, it is not the same as Tool.
No.
It is not like his voice is the Perfect Circle. Great. Yes. Okay. I've learned to appreciate it, but I'm expecting Tool.
Right.
I'm expecting a different version, not a guy behind a screen I can't see. And it was just.
It was odd. Yeah.
It was so odd.
Maynard's an odd dude.
But he's brilliant.
Yeah.
But yeah, I give me a Tool playlist and a heavy bag. And that's my new meditation.
By the way, if you're not following us on social media, you can follow along with Candace Ray's journey on her goal to getting on stage and being a bikini fitness model athlete.
You can follow Dave too.
Sure. Yeah.
Dave does great stuff.
Whatever. This funny stuff.
You do funny stuff.
Yeah. At WheelerJ28, at It's Candace Ray. Those are the places to follow us. Call us on the speak pipe. We would love to hear from you. We would just love to hear your comments, concerns. Treat it like a voicemail. If you call us, we'll likely air it here on the show and have a listen to it and dissect it and have some fun and figure out if you're an alcoholic or not.
When you were talking about the show for the week, you were saying to me if I had a rule, if I had a government rule, what would it be?
Well, it was more so based on the talk we had last week on if Western Canada was to separate, and then we're starting off as a whole new union, a whole new confederacy, right? And so if you were the head of said state, what kind of rules would you implement?
I thought about that when you asked me that question. I thought, okay, what would I? Of course, funny, and what could I do funny? But truthfully, you want to know what I would do? I would ask every insurance company, MPI, private, public, all of it. You know how every year you pay into insurance, and then sometimes if you don't use your insurance, it's like, well, you didn't use your insurance, so whatever. It gets absorbed. So your dental, your massages, your MPI. I didn't get into an accident. All that money that I paid out, I would like it back the following year. Or put it as a credit to my next year. So I get either more or I get money back.
Yeah, I don't think that would work.
You asked you said I was living in a free world where I was wearing a crown and with a stick or whatever. I didn't know. That is one thing that I would do, is that I would give everybody's money back. Because if you didn't get into an accident or you didn't use all your dental, you didn't use all the stuff, for whatever reason, you come to the end of the year, you're like, oh, I'll take this as cash. I'll take this back because I paid into it. I should get that back. Something should be done with that pool of money, not just absorbed away. So that would be definitely one of the first things that I would do.
Would love to hear your thoughts.
What would you do?
Lots of things. Can't get into it now. We'll save that for another episode. I think we got all our confessionals in today as well. Okay. All right. Have a wonderful week. We will see you next Sunday. Call the Speak Pipe. There's a link down in the podcast description. Thank you as always. I'm Dave Wheeler. That's Candace Ray. Enjoy your week. Merry
Bye-bye.
Christmas. Merry Christmas, everybody.
We're almost there.
Merry Christmas.
Yeah, not yet. It's December. Yeah, we should decorate. Don't you think?